Welcome to Cleftlan Nights. This is the never-ending gaming story that takes place in many alternate worlds. I want to let you know that all the art that I use for this video and all the many of the characters that we use are owned by the companies and the creators that did them. We just use them for fun, and we've created some of our own. Very little of our own art, but a lot of our own characters. So this is for the gaming that took place February 2018, and this is our 55th episode. Wow. all this game was gamed face to face at Joel's house, and so where we last left our heroes. It's Cleftlan, day 2, late in the evening, north of Cleftlan, at the inn of the Stronghold. Washington's security team were still fighting Strath and his Elven security team. They started to make a comeback with the short-term arrival of Bloodstone brothers Brandon and Sam. Then you threw a flash grenade. Security team, Washington's security team is made up of Alex Prentiss, Brandon Cranova, Hans Kaiser, Yu Hunyu, Alora Clendathu, George Washington, Lorenzo Theory, Mei Lee, Rune Stone, and Sam Knoxville. Strath security team is made up of Elion Therieri, Fig Dewdrop, Helenor, Ginris, Mila Sarkalin, Strathmore, Verdane, and Varlon Andrali. Those are the elves, yeah. So Brandon and Sam disappear into Yu's Bloodstone, and with Yu lying on the ground, he tries to attack Strath, but it's too late because Strath tags him out first with a stun blast from his shrine rifle. Meanwhile, Alex is blinded still from Yu's grenade and is outside the stable barn thing that they're around. He begins to fly away so that he doesn't get attacked. He heads to the tree line and then up to the top of the trees. Rain clouds are blocking the moon and it's very dark. Strath's elves take out the lantern on the barn since they got infravision and seeing dark stuff. And then they get to work while Alex cannot see them. Alex begins to notice that he is hearing, he's getting the distance to certain sounds, like his power is developing. Then suddenly it begins to rain, for it is Thursday, in day 3 of Cleftlan, in which day, Thursday, it rains for the whole 24 hours. Alex, staying at the top of the trees in the rain, hides from the elves, and when his sight returns, he starts making his way back towards them, closer and closer. Sometimes lightning strikes and he's able to see them. Even once he attacks Strath. But Strath and his team eventually pack up and head north on the road. Eventually, Alex makes it to the north road. Even in the dark, he's trying to feel his way around, and he flies trying to find Strath's team and the cargo that they stole. I mean, he's really going after them. Nothing will stop this guy. And he's getting so close. Meanwhile, Yu wakes up in the barn with his feet and hands bound, and he's still lying on the floor. Hans returns via the Bloodstone and uses Yu's lightsaber to cut the people free, all the rest of the team. They eventually start to wake up. The security team gets together, and they get into the inn at the Holdfast. They find George there, still bleeding out from his arrow shot. Hans unties him, and Rune begins to heal him. She puts one of her little power runes on there. Rune heads out and Yu heads out and eventually finds May inside of a magic barrel, which he cannot open. She tells him that it's magic, Never believe that it's not so. Han, who is summoned by Yu using his Bloodstone into the rain, helps Yu bring back the barrel in the rain. Hans and Yu run across a werewolf that attacks him, scratching Yu's throat. That Yu has got to get changed. I know I can't change. That's how you pronounce it. But anyways, Yu shoots her with the stun pistol, and she reverts back to her original form, which is just a female. And then before anybody could do anything, her father shows up to bring her back to the cottage where they were staying. Hans and Yu return to the inn with barreled May. Meanwhile, up in Hastings, way up to the north, still on earlier, just a few hours earlier on day 2, late in the evening, where we last left our heroes in Hastings, the people of the Eye had taken over some of the Reds. Christopher Masters and Rain Golden try and stop them from escaping with their friends in tow. The 5 Reds are made up of Red Rook, Red Siren, Red Queen, Red Blade, and Red Guard. Christopher is still in Iguard's body and is unable to make her move because there's 2 of them still inside there. And then he sees Ray falling unconscious. So he leaves Iguard's body and heads to Ray, pushing Blade out back into Blade's body. He convinces Blade that he is the creator of the people of the Eye, and that she needs to listen to him, basically. Or she wants to, because, this is the creator, I better listen. And she chooses to follow him, and they go back to Diana Olympia, Red Queen, and Red Siren. Meanwhile, Red Guard and Red Rook continue to escape to the far west side of Hastings by the marketplace. Christopher and the rest of the gang inside Ray, they go into Baxter's Inn, and they go to talk to the knowing Podrick Hayes. Eyeblade finds out that there are other women in town that she and the others that are possessing the other Reds could possess. These are women that hate their lives and basically don't want to die anyway. So Christopher, or the knowing, thinks that they're worth them possessing. Wow. So, and one of these women is in Baxter's. Her name is Deborah. And Christopher helps Eyeblade possess Deborah, now is known as Deborah. He forces Deborah's boyfriend, Wilfis Sonk, just a henchman type guy, to let her go by changing his memories. Christopher has also left Ray's body at the table by Podrick under the care of Red Siren. After leaving Wilfus, Christopher brings out his body, and then it starts to rain. Yes, it's day 3, Thor's Day, outside. He then goes astral to Igard and Irush, telling them that if they return to Baxter's, he will be able to find them somebody else for them to live in. So then he begins to wait at Baxter's, noticing that everybody's was getting drunk and having a good time. He hears some of the music being played by the bards, and some of the lyrics are some songs from Earth. He's like, wow, that's unexpected. He sees some of people that he knows, some from New Asgard, Violet and Valerie King. He also knows that they're Time Lords. They arrive and they're having a good time with many of the other people here that know them. When Igard and Irush shows up, he tells them about these other women that they will eventually possess. He also saw that Deborah comes back with another, or takes out one of the people from the bar, and looks like she's going to take him to the Tower of the People of the Eye. Crazy, but true. And we go from there to Earth 10.3, still on 30 May 1993. As we last left our heroes of Eclipse, they were leaving Belladonico and heading for the Savage Lands in Antarctica. They are headed there since Nico had banished Farouk and Rachel's body to the Savage Lands after an attack on the teams on Belladonico Island. Eclipse is made up of Alex Prentiss, Archer, Johnny Blaze, Kyle Rayner, Nico Manuru, Rachel Roth, and Rin. The only entrance into the Savage Lands, a little backstory here, is at the Warden's Gate, which is a celestial base made up for those who belong to the Illuminati. Different teams man this base each day. In today's Warden for the base is manned by Justice Alliance. Justice Alliance is made up of Jody Ritz, Alan Fry, Diana Troy, Kitty Pryde, Ilyana Rasputin, Peter Rasputin, and Scott Summers. Alex communicates with Jody before his arrival, and upon arrival, Diana and Scott escort from the hangar bay there, escort Eclipse to the gate to the Savage Lands. Eclipse is warned that they may not be able to return when they're done. They may not be able to leave the Savage Lands because it's a prison created by the Celestials. Inside the Savage Lands, Kyle uses his power ring to teleport Eclipse to a pyramid city by Mount Flavius. And when they get there, they see that Raven is sitting on the throne next to the pyramid, a giant throne. And she's about 70 foot tall now, still 4-eyed, red-skinned, and unconscious. There are many people around her kind of worshiping, and they're under the control of Farouk and Rachel. As they make their way closer, Archer is attacked by Skeletor, and he fights him with his swords. And also on the way to the throne, Ghost Rider, he's actually, while he's on the pyramid, is attacked by Queen Maxima, Buddy Pine, and Skeletor also. And he drives them off in a variety of different ways. And, right, if you want the full battle, but it's a lot more than that. Alex tries to use his chi and Kyle his white light from his power ring to disconnect Rachel from Farouk. Eventually, Archer brings Alex, Kyle, and Rachel to a reality marble, which disconnects Farouk and the body. But yet her body, Rachel's body, remains untransformed. And I mean, it stays transformed into what it looks like, red, all the eyes and all that. Meanwhile, Ghost Rider captures Skeletor in a chain whirlwind, and Archer uses Skeletor's sword as an arrow and shoots it into Skeletor, destroying him. Maybe. Ha 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 ha, Skeletor. When they return from the marble, from the reality marble, they see that Nico and Rin have been defeated by most of the people, just beating on them. And they are about to be eaten by zombies now. The team gets together and defeat the zombies. So where we last left our heroes in the space station Serenity in the Vega System, Omega Dawn was continuing their tour of Serenity. Green Lantern Coriandar has joined them. Omega Dawn is made up of Marcus Lord, Clark Kent, Hal Jordan, Jean Grey, Madison Jeffries, Aurora Monroe, and Wanda Lenshaw. Clark, Jean, Marcus, and Corey make it to Founders Square, and they see this giant statue, bare-chested, of Marcus. They take note also that the Horsemen of the Apocalypse are now captains in the Federation. So when this wish happened to make this place happen, to make the Federation and Serenity, it did something to the Horsemen. The Horsemen were made up of Death, who was Victor Creed, Famine, who was Bobby Drake, Pestilence, and War, who was Russ Galizia. They were previously prisoners on Warworld, and this revelation is shocking and disappointing to Marcus. Hal, Aurora, and Wanda eat some Tamaran barbecue and eventually see the rest of their team show up. Madison, who has been inside the computers of Serenity, has been providing most of the information that Marcus has been getting. Hey, welcome. Well, that's it for this week. Yes, just that gaming is what happened. If you like what you heard, hit like below. If you have questions, leave a comment. Want to join the team? Subscribe. And like always, fair winds, following seas, and happy trails to all of you.